Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Wilson, here with my good friend and co-host, Adrian Wright, and this is The Supernatural and Beyond. Okay. I've been watching TV, which is something I generally don't do, just because there's other things to do. Just the supernatural and beyond my research, it always keeps me into other things other than what's going on in the world. One of the things that I absolutely hate is commercials. I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't like commercials either. However, what I've been noticing is there's been this constant bombardment of AI technology, either in your new smartphone or some program that's going to help you get rich and famous very quickly. The other thing is robots. I've been seeing them in everything, everywhere. There's even that robotic voice that comes on. Hi, I am Tony Wilson. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, no, actually, I'm a person. I'm alive, flesh and blood.
I'm going to check after this recording just to make sure.
Just to make sure, yeah. Because they do have clones out there. And I'm talking about physical clones. I'm going to mention one. They say that Michael Jackson, after his hair caught on fire back in the 80s, that what you saw from that point forward was a clone. Okay. And that's why his face fell apart the way that they did. So that's another rabbit trail that I'm not going to go down today. We'll cover that in another segment. What I want to cover is that with the advent of AI, with the advent of the robots, or cyborgs, it's all a part of the transhuman agenda.
Okay.
And what they want to do is they want to program us so that we're more receptive to what's actually coming, which is called disclosure.
All right.
Now, all of these things that I just mentioned is called soft disclosure, and disclosure has been going on since the 60s, 70s, 80s, since the Roswell event. And if you look at some of the television programs, they were always talking about alien invasion. There was one program called Alien Nation.
Yes.
You remember that one?
From the early 90s? Or
yeah, 80s, late 80s, early 90s. There was another one that I saw an advertisement for on some billboard called The Invaders.
Okay.
This was back in the early 60s, and it was talking about how the aliens were coming down.
Yeah.
Now, there was one that was called The Day That the Earth Stood Still. Now, that's a classic.
Yeah.
And what they're basically saying is that our space brothers, or the space gods, which have been recorded throughout ancient history, as that some point in time they will return to the earth to usher in the golden age.
Okay.
Where they will, usher in the time of, like it was back in the Garden of Eden. But that's never been further from the truth. And every one of those movies, whenever they say they come in peace,
they don't.
They ain't coming in peace. They're coming to enslave. So what the government has been doing is that they have been covering up a lot of this information. We've talked about CERN, how they are actually in communication with extra-dimensional beings, and they are setting forth the agenda. They are giving us alien technology. The Luciferian New World Order agenda. Their agenda is very simple. They want to have established a one world government,
okay,
which we can kind of see being formed, or was formed, with the United Nations.
Yeah.
And the United Nations goes back to 1917, which was called the League of Nations.
League of Nations, yeah.
They want a one world religion because there's too much infighting.
Yeah.
Even amongst certain groups that are fighting against other groups, there are fights within those individual groups.
Right.
And it's just like, this is insane. And then there's a one world monetary system that they want to have. Now, the reason they want this is so they can basically control everybody and control everything, that no one will be able to buy or sell without their approval and or permission.
Yes.
And this has been the agenda of the Luciferian New World Order.
Right.
Now, those are some of the highlights of what's coming. And the reason why they want to do that is because they're going to give us full disclosure to tell us that our space brothers, that the ancient gods of old have returned to usher in this new era, this golden age.
Yeah.
And like it's been said, we come in peace. but they never come in peace.
Never come in
They come to enslave.
Yeah, and it's when I come from that disclosure thing, and I've seen it too without watching television, but I've seen it in music videos, and I'm sure like some of the songs, whether it's hip hop, whether it's rap or kind of like the pop music, there's always some kind of interaction about the sexuality and like like female performers wanting to.
Katy Perry comes to mind.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna name drop any names, but that's one of them. There's other ones too, Tony. Okay. Yeah, there's other ones too. So you haven't just seen it on TV, but it's in the music culture.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know what I mean? And we've touched on ceremonies opening dimensional realms portals and realms and stuff for beings to come in. And if you look at it, music kind of takes form as a form of worship.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, which God are you going to worship? The God of the age, the God of this world, or the creator God, the master of it all, you know? And so that's one thing, but I like how you bring to point that disclosure. And if you're coming to grips about what that means, is it means by showing you a little bit of something at a time, at a slow pace. Because if they were just to unfold it all before us and be like, hey, look, all those things about aliens, true. All these things about these Stargates, true. Like if they laid it all out and opened door on it, the population couldn't take it. They'd be in shock. They'd be in panic. And so this tactic of disclosure reveals it little by little. So they'll put it in the music, or they'll put it on this YouTube video theory here, or they'll put it in this conspiracy theory here, or they'll make movies about it, like for instance Independence Day.
Oh yeah, that was a great one. One.
So that was a good movie, and that was a very popular movie. I'm sure most of our viewers or listeners have seen that or heard about it. And so in that movie, like, spaceships came to the world. So it showed how the world unified. This government unified with this government, and we worked together to take down those alien life forms that came in peace, but came to destroy us. And there's so many more movies that come to mind too.
Movies, television shows, and again, it started all with the Roswell event.
Yes.
And there have been just more events, more movies, more disclosure, more soft disclosure. And again, I like what you said, that this is a way to control the masses.
Yeah.
Because once it gets out, that's going to shatter everybody's belief system.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, well, wait a minute. If these are our space brothers, who is this God, and who is that God, and who is this messenger, who is this Messiah? It's just going to create such a state of confusion that people are just going to be left just bewildered on so many different levels.
Yeah, and I want to just take a minute for our listeners and just let you guys know, like, do not be scared, but also at the same time, do not be deceived. Like, check our research, do your research, find out for yourself. I came across a lady the other day, and she was kind of like confused. She was kind of like blown away. And she was trying to figure out how these aliens and these other life forms fit into Christianity. And I told her about like the fallen race, and how I believe like the fallen race are related, like what we call aliens are related to like the fallen angels with their fallen technology. And it really encouraged her, it really lifted her up. And so there's other stories like that too, where maybe you're struggling to come to terms with this and how this comes together and how this fits into like God being a creator. But back to in the beginning, there was there were other life forms made, interdimensional beings, celestial beings, living creatures that are talked about all throughout Scripture. In the biblical text, in the Tanakh, and then even in the extra biblical text, like the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees and all that kind of stuff. So, once again, we want to thank you guys for following us at the Supernatural and Beyond. Leave a comment down below whether you believe in UFOs, or if you've heard of this disclosure, or if you have some inside information on what's really going on, and just let us know. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more content.